New York is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, but many first-timers make the same mistakes when they visit here. So let us help you out by sharing 10 common tourist mistakes to avoid in New York. Underestimating how much walking you're going to do. While the subway and buses will help you cover longer distances, you should prepare to walk quite a few kilometers around museums, stores, and between close sites in New York. With traffic and taxi prices what they are, walking the few blocks to the next item on your list is always better. However, those few blocks add up, and with even more time spent on your feet waiting in lines, it pays to wear comfortable shoes for days spent touring the city. Expecting to buy Broadway tickets at the box office. Broadway theaters and the plays they regularly offer are immensely popular, so anyone wanting to purchase tickets on the day of the performance is nearly certain to be disappointed. Even if you are fortunate to locate a vacant seat, the cost of occupying it will be unreasonably high. There are daily lotteries for tickets for some of the most popular events, but your chances of winning are slim. Instead, making a reservation well in advance online is the best option. Not using the subway. The yellow cabs of New York are famous for many things, but not for being fast or cheap. It's not uncommon for first-time visitors to New York to waste hours in rush hour traffic. The subway is speedier and cheaper, but not without flaws. Another major mistake committed in New York is not researching the ticketing system. A single ride ticket costs $3 and is valid for one ride within 2 hours. However, you can save money by getting a Metro card from the station. Get an unlimited 7-day pass to save money, time, and hassle of buying tickets each time. Booking a hotel near Times Square for your whole stay. Midtown Manhattan is home to many of New York City's most well-known attractions, including Times Square, the Empire State Building, and Broadway. Few New Yorkers, however, consider it to be the real New York. In other parts of the city, you'll find more affordable hotels, as well as a wider selection of local stores and restaurants. You don't lose anything by not staying within walking distance of the key attractions, because the subway is a quick and inexpensive method to travel nearly everywhere in the city. If you want to be sure that you ended up choosing the ideal option for your stay, we've prepared a list of the best hotels based on location, value for money, and guest reviews. Find the list in description, make the smart decision and book a place to stay like a pro. Only eating at chain restaurants. A staggering variety of cuisines are available at New York's restaurants. The recognizable names, like McDonald's and Pizza Hut, mislead some guests who wonder why the eating scene is so popular. The Meatball Shop and Dos Toros are just a couple examples of modest local eateries that serve authentic American cuisine. To locate something truly intriguing and distinctive, don't forget to shop at little local boutiques. Tell us in the comments, do you prefer eating in a well-known restaurants or always try to find some hidden gems? Not using the hop-on hop-off bus. In cities like New York, hop-on hop-off buses are a terrific method to see everything. Avoid figuring out public transportation or paying for a taxi. A one-day ticket covering Manhattan costs around $40, but there are many more routes and ticket options to choose from. You also receive a tour guide who provides interesting facts and information along the way, which you won't get on the subway. Stopping in the middle of a busy sidewalk. New Yorkers have a reputation for being rude and grumpy, but the reality is that the majority of them are quite friendly, but also extremely busy. With walking being such a popular mode of transportation, tourists stopping in their tracks to admire the view and blocking the sidewalk may be extremely inconvenient. This is also why many locals hate Times Square. It's located just between the Port Authority bus terminal and Penn Station, and it's often congested with tourists, making it a very annoying obstacle for those who work in the neighborhood. Forgetting the suburbs. Each of New York's outer boroughs has its own distinct personality and attractions. Brooklyn, in particular, is worth mentioning. Simply crossing the famous Brooklyn Bridge is a solid start, and you'll be rewarded with spectacular views of the Statue of Liberty and the Manhattan skyline on the other side. You'll get a lot more genuine idea of what life is like in the Big Apple, despite the fact that there are significantly less prominent sites and attractions to explore. If you don't have a month to spare, don't try to tour all 5 boroughs in one go. Underestimating the winter weather. Although New York is around the same latitude as Portugal, the climate is far from Iberian. During the winter, cold air and currents from the Arctic Ocean sweep down the Canadian coast, bringing temperatures around 0 degrees Celsius and storms that can dump up to 6 inches of snow on city streets. There will also be severe, stinging winds. Although it is preferable to travel during the summer, if you must visit during the winter, be sure to carry lots of clothing and a good pair of boots. Not tipping properly. In most countries, a tip is an optional gratuity for good service. Tipping is practically mandatory in the US. What typically confuses tourists to New York is who and how much to tip. Generally, you only tip service providers like waiters, taxi drivers, and hairdressers. Giving between 15% and 20% of the bill typically results in a smile. Tipping a hotel porter for large bags is usually $5 per bag. Bartenders usually get $1 per drink. Did you find yourself in any of these mistakes? Write to us in the comments and have a great time in New York.